Would you rather be forgotten after death or be misunderstood after death? There's only one answer, and it is for you to give, capturing the amazing stories of phenomenal Nigerian women. This is Halal Talk, where wisdom meets warmth and every conversation is a step towards an enlightening journey.
Peace be upon you. Welcome to another episode of Halal Talk with Nansfit. This is a show where we talk about different important issues. So Halal Talk with Nansfit is a discussion where wisdom meets warmth and every conversation is a step towards an enlightening journey. With me today we have another exciting and amazing guest and personality of our own. So, Assalamu alaikum, welcome.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you too. Really glad to have you. So, what's the name? Say your name.
My name is RUQOYAT ATINUKE ROHMAN.
Oh, I think there was Atinuke.
What? Rahman.
Okay,
I'm Abdurrahman, but of course I use Rahman.
Okay.
Yoruba.
Okay. Even the Ruqoyat, but that's
Yoruba.
Yes.
Yeah, RUQOYAT. That's our thing.
Okay. You studied linguistics. You are an entrepreneur. You had a stint. That's not just a stint. That's not a stint. Next, how many years? Almost a decade of practicing law.
Yeah, 9 years.
9 years.
Yes.
Almost a decade. So that's a long time. So tell us, how did you round yourself to do all of this together?
Well, it has always been about what I want and my focus. The English was actually a by the way thing because I wrote my first jam. When I wrote my first jam, the course I was given was Islamic Studies. I knew I could not. I could not excel in that part. To be fair, so I wrote the second one, and I got English and Literary Studies at Obafemi Awolowo University. Like, oh, okay, let me go try it out. But I've always wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to study law. So when I got into school, I was like, no, English is quite interesting. Now I don't even think I want to study law anymore. I want English. I'd fallen in love with it and all. So I said, no, I was done. And my dad was like, oh, it's not like about him wanting me to be a lawyer, but he felt like I was being brainwashed in the university setting, and maybe our lecturers, that's the reason why I didn't want to pursue my dream. So he just said, okay, you know what, just try, write JAMB again, do this law and all of that. They're just trying to go for this law and see if you still like it. Yeah, so I continued. I wrote JAMB again, and I got common and Islamic law. So I was caught in between. Am I going to stop English? Am I going to continue with law and all? I just told my dad, okay, initially I moved to the University of Ilorin to study law and all of that. But when I got there, I was always like, anyway, I used to be a big baby, so I was always like crying, calling home and all of that. I'm tired, I don't want this place, I want to go back to AU. My friends are there. I feel like the university life is more interesting there, and I still believe that till now, that when you go to OAU, you feel university pass through and you pass through university. There's something about that school. Like I've studied in 3 universities. Uni Ilorin for my master's, Uni Ilorin for law, and OAU for England. I can tell you that there's something about OAU. There's this feeling of yourself there. So I just wanted to go back. And they were like, okay, I won't force you. Since you've seen the 2, it's okay. If you want to go back, you go back. So I went back. I finished mine. They were like, okay, law, I'm still interested. So I went to do common and Islamic law. So in OAU, in University of Ilorin, and I finished that. So that's basically how I had this degree. So it was not like I planned out or I set out to do it, but it was just like a life circumstance brought it together, and it's quite interesting. I enjoyed it.
And it's interesting actually, and it's rare.
Yes,
your story is rare because you hardly find anyone. You know, in Nigeria, we're always struggling to find admission.
Yes.
So imagine someone that's already gotten admission, English for that matter. You must now course. And goes to, so it's really interesting and it's intriguing. Thank God you were able to pull the feet actually.
Yes, I'm grateful to God and with the support of my parents actually, because the pressure and all, I must tell you, it was not an easy was not an easy thing, but especially considering the fact that the law too is a two-way thing. You're doing common law, you're doing Islamic law, and for somebody like me that do not have this madrasa experience, and also it was like a difficult first for me, but I just gave through, and I'm happy I did.
I'm glad you did. If you hadn't, this conversation would have been it would be helpful because that was what intrigued me, seeing your profile and all of that. So let's go back a bit. How was your background like growing up?
Well, I'm from a close knitted family. Like we're just three. I have two elder brothers. I'm the only girl. My mom and my dad. That was just it. And my daddy's baby. My daddy's baby, because according to their story, they had planned of 2 kids, but my dad wanted a girl child, and he tried again, and I came. So my dad's baby, and my parents spoilt me to a reasonable extent. They let me have my way. But while doing that, they still try to let you know that, okay, these are the do's and don'ts. I didn't grow up with parents beating you and all of that. It's just about the fact that the way they love you, you are now scared to do things that is going to get on their nerves. So they give you this freedom to make your own decision, but while giving you that freedom, they advise you, and they're like model to you. And my brothers, my siblings love me, my brother love me. So I grew up with love. So it was like an happy environment. It was a happier environment for me. So growing up was quite interesting for me, and I really like it. But I would have wished my family is a bit larger, because I think I admire people that say, oh, they have their cousins coming around, they have their uncles, they have their extended family in the whole house and all of that. It's actually just been me and my secondary school year, my grandma and all, but it wasn't really a large family. It was just like a closely knitted family. But the love is there. So that's basically what my background was like.
That's interesting. Let me tell you something actually. You know this life, when you don't have this, that's what you want.
We crave for it.
I have 5 sisters, and every single time, I'm like, why am I not the only female? Like, where did you guys go? So it's always like, even though it's in a sarcastic, loving way, like it's always like, what you don't have is what you get attracted to. So what you have is perfect.
I know, really, I'm grateful for it. Sometimes I just look at people that have like 7 siblings, they have sisters. I usually wish I have a sister anyways. They have sisters, and the fact that my brothers are playing football, when you beg them, let me play with them, like, what can you do? They are playing table tennis. Sometimes I have to lay on the table, they start eating me with the eggs so that I'm going to stand up. I just want to participate in their life and all. But it's quite interesting. I just admire the other side. But just like what you said, what you don't have is what's attractive. Yeah.
So now let's talking about routine, which we wanted to really talk about your personal routine and your lifestyle that makes you a grounded person to be able to do these multiple things together. You know, you had I'm sure you were in your late teenage and early 20s when you had that 2-degree start.
Yes. Funny enough, I finished my law at 21. I became a lawyer at 21. Yes, I became a lawyer at 21.
And
so
you had the first degree.
Yes. I already finished English. I think 18 or 19. I got to university quite early. Secondary school was quite early. Yes. Because even when I get into secondary school, my dad didn't want to let me go. I was like, I know this one is not mature, she's so young and everything. Yeah. And the way we just let her try now, because my dad has this sort for me. Let me just try this junior YF. That's what you do too. Is it junior common entrance? Yes. Let me try it. My dad would say, no way. How did she try it at primary 4? Even the primary 4 was like basically it was like double promotion. She's not going to try. Like, let her try it.
And I guess you were also academically.
But I never came first.
You never
came first. But I never came first.
To some extent, if you weren't, if your academics wasn't that high, if you were average, I don't think there's a way you could have survived 2 degrees.
Yes. Well, I feel
at a very young age,
to a reasonable extent, yes. In another way, I feel like it's more about focus and determination. I don't really believe there is nothing you cannot do as a person. I don't really believe, because if you knew me growing up with my father, you would be like, how will this girl survive on her own? She's lazy, she can barely do things on her own, she's always falling sick and all of that. People were scared when I was going into university, like, will she survive that? That is not there, and all of that. So I feel like it's more about focus and determination. Yes, I understand that you have to be academically sound to a reasonable extent, but I still believe that you can actually walk yourself through that. It's not like you are born with it or something. It's more about you working towards it and your focus. That's just it, and your determination. There were times I wanted to drop out. There were times I wanted to be like, no, I'm done. There were times I got that, no, I'm done. I'm not doing this again. I'll just be like, okay, you have tried. You have tried. Just see it through. You have tried. So
I think I get your point. There's something people say about talent. It's not only talent that gets you far. It's how much discipline you put into making talent. It's like comparing the two greatest footballers of our time, Messi and Ronaldo. Messi said to have the talent, but Ronaldo is said to build on discipline.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, the two will still end up achieving greater goals at the same time.
Yes.
So you can't just rely only on the talent and say, oh, I'm skilled. I'm a skilled person.
Because they love people that are smarter than you. They love people that are more skills than you. It's just about putting yourself out there and trying to work on this thing continuously. It's the consistency. That's it. That's it for me.
I do agree with you, actually. I do agree, because discipline can take you a lot far. You might not have something, but the discipline. I was saying something to one of my boys before you came in, and he ended up going into a new, different field that entirely he has no idea. But when you just lower yourself there, I'm here to learn. Like, I'm learning new things, and this new things I'm learning is going to expand my brain. It's going to take me to a different level that I have never been, because there's so many awareness you get exposed to that you just be like, oh, I need to change that orientation.
I need to unlearn something. Yes.
So, how is your personal routine? Now you're already an adult. Those things happen to you a decade or so ago.
Yes.
Right. So, as an adult, like, how have you been able to use some of the orientation you had, the background you had, to build a life on your own? Because now daddy cannot start.
Well, the thing is, I got to unlearn, relearn, and learn some new things. That's just it. I feel like while you are growing up, you're like, you see, your parents raised you the best way they can. Based on what they know
and what they have,
their trauma, their experience, and everything. They brought it together to raise you. So you can't blame them for some things. You are an adult now. I usually tell people that at 25, you cannot tell me that something is your parents' fault. That's my own belief. At 25, you cannot put any blame on your parents for anything. At that point, you should be able to make decisions yourself. You should be able to unlearn some things. They raised you based on what they know, based on the knowledge they have. So it's for you to re-raise yourself, to reset your life. So for me, I feel like one thing I usually do is, I'm from a Muslim background, but not like from a staunch Muslim. OAU is the one that gave me the Chincha, the OAU MSSN. Sarukoya, you scarf, Sarukoya, stop this. So I didn't really come from a very staunch background. We pray. My dad will force you that prayer. You will pray every other thing, but that prayer, you pray that fast and all of that. There is no compulsion in fasting and all of that, but they let you know that you have to fast and all. But they do it and all. But university really changed my way. And when I say university, I mean OAU. There's just something about OAU. OAU really changed that. So prayer is one thing I don't take out of my routine, because there is this relief that comes with it. See, there are times that I lose faith. Yes, there are sometimes that things happen to you and you're like, maybe God is not answering prayer. But there's this relief that comes with prayer. So one of my routines is my askar. I so much believe in it. As in when I'm done with my morning askar, the way I just enter my car and I just drive over and I'm just like, I'm covered. There's just this thing that comes with prayer. I just have this belief that I'm covered. Or when I do tahajjud, tomorrow there is nothing. I am smashing it. That's one thing for me, prayer. Then another thing is to-do lists. Like, I compartmentalize my life, my social life, my self-care, my health, my finances, my work, and my business. I have a book, I carry it around. It's going to be in my handbag. That book, because I'm more of a analog person than digital. I don't really like this. Yeah, you see, the thing is, when I say I'm more of analog, when it comes to things about my life plan and all of that, I don't put it on the phone. I don't put it on the phone. But of course, my books are on my phone because I like to read e-books. I don't really like when people see me as a serious person. So I like to be always on my phone. People are like, should I press that phone? Like, my books are not of that on. But when it comes to my to-do list, planning my life, there is a book for it, and I compartmentalize my life. And one thing I actually tell myself is, I don't look at other people's life, because you don't know what they have been through, you don't know the journey. You only see the glamour, you don't see the sacrifices that went behind it. Sometimes people look at me like, oh, you pull that off. There were times that, let me tell you one thing that happened to me while I was in university. There was one time I had, because I had not fully finished from OAU before I started Uni Ilorin. So there were times that our exam clashed. We had exam at the same time. So I think I was in 400 of OAU and all. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? Okay, I cannot afford to carry anything over in OAU because I cannot have extra year. I don't have that luxury of having extra year, so I cannot carry any cost over. Uni Ilorin, okay, I'm studying Common Islamic law, so we don't have free space to add extra courses too. And if I was to have extra courses, you cannot add more than 2 units because of the fact that we do all common law courses and we do Islamic law courses, so we don't have space. And I'll think about, okay, how do I handle it? There were times there was a time I had exam in evening in OAU and the morning in Uni Ilorin. My bag was already ready. Exam is 3 hours. I said, okay, I have to finish this exam in 2 hours.
22 years.
So in 2 hours, I'd already finished that. In 2 hours, I'd finished that, carrying my bag to the park. I do not have a car and I could not drive that long distance. Because normally it should be 4 hours, but because of the bad road and all that, you spend like almost 6 hours on the road, 5-6 hours. Then I'll go to the park. You don't know when it's going to get filled up or not. So I carried this thing now. There's my book there. I am reading and all of that. That day, I went through hell. That day there was a fight in the camp outside. Police were shooting. It was this thing. People were like, go back. And I'm like, okay. I saw the police. I was just like raising my hand. No, I do not have anything to do with it. I just raised my hand. I needed to get some. People like, go back. Where is this girl going? Don't you have parents and everything? I just kept walking towards them with my hands up and my bag with me. I need to just go. I need to just pass through. I don't care what you are doing. I need to just pass through. Then when I got into the car, we were going on, and I was just crying. I was like,
You're going to be
what are you doing this? Like, I was just crying. So people look at me like, oh, you studied English, oh, you studied law and all of that. You didn't know what I was doing. There were times I would get to Ife at 1 a.m. and if you know story about Ife, there's this traditional thing they do every day and all of that, so you have to be careful. You know, there are times I've gotten to Ife at 1 a.m. People don't see that. But people see me dressed up, look good and all of that. Oh, it's not about fashion. Oh, it's all about this. But they don't know the struggle. That's why I don't compare my life to the glamorous things, because people are sacrificed behind closed doors. You don't know the tears. So I have my own plan for my life. I don't look at societal standards because it changes all the time.
Yeah.
When you do one thing, there is another thing for you according to the society. If you do this thing, there's another thing they expect you to do. There's another thing they expect you to do. So for me, a grounded life is a life you want to create for yourself, not according to the societal standards. So you have to be focused. So because I compartmentalize my life, I have my to-do list. I strike it out. I don't put too much pressure on myself. Too much pressure on myself. This is my goal for today. I try as much as possible to get it done. If I don't get it done that day, I don't go the next day and go and set another to-do list. I carry some of it over. I'm like, okay, it's getting too much. Let me just add few. I don't build up on myself. I don't put myself under any pressure, and I don't beat myself up. And I give myself mental rest. Because there's this rush of you want to achieve this, you want to do this, you want to do this. All those things are societal standards. It's not like God told you that this is at 50 you should have at 30 you should have done this and all of that. All of these are societal standards. So I always think about that. My to-do list. Yes, I have 5 years plan. I have 10 years plan for every part of my life. Then there's the 6 months plan. Then there's the daily routine, which I do after 1 month. I look at it, okay, for your months, how is it looking like? Okay, the ones you did not do, okay, you carry it over. And the ones that unexpectedly fall on your laps. And I'm a very grateful person. That's just even if I'm going through the toughest time, after I'm done, I'm just like, oh, alhamdulillah. The 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I woke up with a broken tap in my house. My house was flooded with water, and I was frustrated, angry, and all of that. So I just said, let me clean it up before Zara. By the time I checked the time, it was already to 6. And I stood up around 3. It was already to 6. So I could not even pray. I could not even do all of that. So I was a bit frustrated. At the end of the day, I said, alhamdulillah, I do wake up to 5. It's true, it would have been a different story. So I am a very, very grateful person. No matter what I'm going through, like when I'm completely down, there are a lot of things that I have that I do not even ask God for. God just gave it to me. God knows that I needed it. So I'm a very grateful person. So that's one thing. And I read a lot. And the way I use when I mean I read a lot, not necessarily print and all of that. My social media too, the way I create my if you open my TikTok, you will not see people dancing, jumping and everything. If it's not about Islam, it's about getting your money up, finances, it's about living a luxury life. Those are the things that I love. Is that those things you will always say it because when people say TikTok, people just go there to make money. Is it like your social media, you create it to what you want. I usually tell people the 2 best apps for me is Pinterest and TikTok, because there is nothing you want to learn about you don't see on those 2 apps. There is nothing. One is just a video.
One is a picture.
One is a picture I've written. There is nothing you want to learn about. There is nothing. So everything about it, I create it towards my dream, towards my goal. It's not like sometimes I don't just get relaxed.
Yeah, sometimes you get
yes, I'm
carried away.
human.
Yes.
But the fact is, I always call myself back, and everything. Prayer is the main thing, because at the end of the day, even if you are struggling, if God did not pour me, if God did not say, I know this thing will not come to pass. So exactly, be and it is. That's just it. That's for me. Prayer is number 1. Trust in God, and actually my own journey. Like I look at my own journey. I do not look at societal standard, because it changes all the time, and you will not be happy if you follow societal standard, because it keeps changing. There's always these expectations about, and society will people when you say society,
it's
actually
people,
those people will force their insecurities on you, and like a form of what will I call it, expectation. You don't know is there
it's like dragging a camel to the water and still forcing the camel.
Do you understand? And the thing is, if you do this thing, society will tell you do this. If you do it, there's something else for you to do. There's something else for you to do. So just trust your own journey and be grateful for every baby step you make. Be very grateful for every baby step you make, because a lot of people want to even get there, and you are not better than them, and they even pray more than you, and they are not there. So you just have to be grateful. Gratefulness, alhamdulillah is the fastest thing to my mouth. Alhamdulillah.
I think we should have a full-fledged conversation on gratitude. And I really
gratitude
enjoyed.
is my thing.
Yeah, I enjoyed your personal routine. There's something I learned that I wasn't aware of before is having a to-do list. I usually do that. I do almost all the things you mentioned, but there's something that I learned, which is having a to-do list. It's not about creating new lists. It's like going to a school. You can't be promoted if you have carryover.
Yes.
You must carry over the course and then pass it. So it's I see progress and growth in something like that. Instead of creating new ideas, just follow up with the ones left over the previous day.
Because it is pressure or societal pressure that makes you just want to. I just want to further. We just even looking at, are you really growing, or you are just moving? Because there's a difference between just going and actually growing. So, like me in my adult life now, there are courses that I take that is like in stages. You are done with stage 1, they expect you to go to stage 2. So me, I'll say I want to go back to that stage 1, because I know, even if they test me, like, oh no, you can go ahead. I know I am not fit to go to the second, to my second stage. I go back, people like, why? It is my journey at the end of the day. I don't care. It is my journey at the end of the day. You all can go. There are a lot of things that people my age have not achieved. So why am I rushing to come to follow your own goal? that's it for me.
I think you have a beautiful philosophy, and I love it.
Thank you.
So let's move to the next section, which is these order questions.
Okay.
So now the first one: to live in the city or to live in the village?
City girl. I grew up in Lagos. What do you expect?
You grew up in Lagos?
Yes, I grew up in Lagos.
Okay, I know you're in Abuja, city.
Yeah.
Cooking together or eating out?
Eating out.
Oh my God, I'm so
Eating out.
surprised. I saw what you posted on Twitter. Actually, you did something already.
Eating out.
I already know the answer to this, but I'll still ask. Plan every detail of a trip or going on a spontaneous adventure?
I'm used to planning details of
Yeah,
trip,
I already
but
know.
I'm
Someone
used to planning details of my trip. But sometimes I feel like one or two, I want to do that. That's spontaneous. I want to try it and see how it goes.
But you still, there's a subconscious.
Because
let me practice.
I know myself that this year I want to do more spontaneous trip. No plans, nothing. Let me just throw myself out there because I'm going to be planner.
Okay. Rich and famous or rich and unknown?
Rich and famous
Or
rich and unknown? Even if I don't want to be famous, it's like quite a lot of people know me now, so rich or famous.
Okay. To embrace the glory of the past history or to forge new beginnings? No, past they go.
Let the past just be in the past. Let's just face the future.
Okay. Quality time or thoughtful gift?
Quality time or thoughtful gift. I love gifts. I love gifts. I actually like it too, yeah. But I love gifts. I love gifts. Let me be truthful to myself. I love gifts.
Everything about it is so like
Sometimes I love gifts.
Okay, honoring legacy or pioneering change?
Honoring legacy is a good one. Yes, I like to honor legacy. It is a good one. But there is nothing wrong with her. But I'll go for both actually. I'll go for both. Can I just say both? Both. Let me just
It's okay to be alone, but just once in a while. You know masa, right? The northern food made with rice.
Masa, yes. You know you have masa too.
Okay, remember that masa?
But it's not made the same way.
Okay, it's made with millet, right?
I don't even know how they make it.
It's
We
brown.
fry our own. I'll sprinkle sugar on it.
Yes, it's brown.
It's not brown. It's almost like your color. But ours is round.
It's brown, like that.
Yeah, but it's not. Especially maybe if you fry it
It's
with
not
that.
brown.
It's nude color, just like the color of your own. Nude.
You know,
like
my local government is in Kwara State, so they have this affinity with Yoruba culture.
Yeah,
Their
right.
own masa there, it's not just masa in the north, in the down north. It's with sugar, but it's made with millet. Or is it guinea corn? Millet or guinea corn, but it's not white in color. So
Maybe
it's
they
not
fry
white.
it too much.
It's brown or black or something.
Black, no, it cannot be black.
It can't. It's not totally. It's in that region. Dark brown. It's like your color.
No. That's not our masa.
Okay, that's not your masa.
That's not our masa.
What color is it?
Our masa is more of nude, but maybe darker because it involves frying. I know when you fry things, of course, it gets darker based on the stage you fry it.
But you don't know what it's made from.
And I don't know what it's made for.
So that means we can ask the question: masa or pussy or akara? The way you
Akara place, if akara place, but if it's Yoruba masa, I will choose Yoruba masa. Hausa masa. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Okay, let's go to the next one. To change the past or to see the future?
I wish I can change just one thing from the past, but if I cannot change that, then you said the other one is what?
See the future.
See the future. Do I want to see the future? I feel like I enjoy the journey.
The mystery.
Yes,
I enjoy it.
I enjoy the
The
journey.
surprise when it just hits
I
you.
enjoy the journey. Before I used to be like, let me know let me just know what I want to become. But now, the journey, I appreciate it more. There's this.
I think it's age.
Maybe
With age comes so much gratitude and understanding for life.
You now appreciate every step.
Every step, yeah. Especially when you look backwards and you're saying, this thing that I really wanted.
Did.
Oh God, thank
Do
you.
you know, I knew that when I was in secondary school, primary school, I tell myself that when I get to university, when I'm on my bunk bed, I will lay down, I will raise my leg up. The way they do in that movie, you raise your two leg up, you'll not be pressing your phone and be talking to your
Did you
roommate.
do that? Was it possible?
I did it to my, you know, it was like, Imagine, so this is a dream.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
That's not true.
So this is a dream. I just laid on my leg, raised my 2 legs, exactly the way you see it in all those movies that you raise your 2 legs up. You press your, you're not talking to your friend. Hey, I was lectures today. That was a dream for me.
You know, as younger children, we end up building fantasies. That at the end of the day, seriously, as life transcends, we end up
Living
so
it,
normal.
and sometimes you
it's
feel
so normal. Like,
do you understand?
so this is what
When I did that, I'm like, okay, how is this a dream?
Mm.
But I'm just responsible because if I never got to live it, I would not have seen I wouldn't see exactly. But because I got to live it, that was like, oh, so this is it. So now I just enjoy the journey because the prayers that you've had and you've probably forgotten, when you now live it, you're like, oh, imagine I used to want. So that's why, and even if I want something and I don't get it, I don't let it get to me too much because your journey, there's always something to appreciate about your journey. That's
beautiful. Let's go to the next part, which is the R questions, the letter R questions.
R.
Yes, your name begins with letter R.
Miss Pam.
Oh yeah, let me try to pronounce it the Yoruba way. And you're a linguist.
No, don't bring that.
You have to try.
You are going to embarrass me in this part.
I'm not going to
I have
try.
a feeling that
You can read. Welcome to the kingdom of readers. This is your kingdom. So now, let's go with the first one. A tool for measuring. And you have to answer it so fast.
Wait, a tool
From measuring.
From a ruler.
Correct. A mode of communication involving gestures.
Radio? No, a mode of
Everything begins with letter R, remember?
radio.
A mode.
A mode of communication. It's from a mode of communication. No.
You pass.
Yeah.
You pass. You pass.
Mode of communication. Read. Mode of communication. I'm just thinking.
Okay.
Tell me.
Rhetorics.
Whoa. I do not agree to that answer. I do not agree. No, I do not agree.
Let's give you.
I do not agree. I can defend my answer, but let's move on.
You studied law. So
I can defend my answer.
A type of flower associated with love.
Rose.
Yeah. A color that represents danger.
Red.
And the last one, think of a Nigerian slang. It begins with letter R.
Nigerian slang that begins with
Yes.
razor.
Correct.
Yeah.
So now we've come to the end of the show with our 3 final questions. What was the best advice you ever got?
Strive hard to get what you like, or you'll be forced to like what you get.
Okay. The worst advice you've ever gotten.
What's the advice I've ever gotten? What's the advice I've ever gotten? That would require thinking.
How much do you remember since it's an awful thing?
I don't remember things like that.
Okay. One thing that changed your entire life.
My father's death. 2020. It changed everything for me.
2020.
Yeah, it changed everything for me.
2021.
2020 June. That changed everything for
I
me.
get it, you know what? I also lost to my father.
Oh,
2021 November. So I know how it
I
changes
know,
everything. Like
that
I get
changed-
your point.
No,
Like I
that
get it.
changed everything.
Yes.
for me.
Grief changes everything.
Everything.
Changes
The whole
everything.
trajectory of my life.
Yes, yes.
And the fact that I have built my life around him. So imagine starting to build your life
Outside.
outside. Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, I'm grateful to God. Because
And you know one thing, again, I keep saying it, I say grief is beautiful. There's beauty, there's gratitude, there's bliss. Like you end up appreciating life more. I'm serious, that's how it is.
when you say grief is beautiful, that thing,
Beauty does not mean it is something that is let me say life is beautiful, but life is not always sweet.
Yes.
There's sour.
Yeah.
There's
But I don't see the sweetness in grief anyway.
you don't
I don't
no.
see the sweetness.
When I see the sweetness in grief, right, is my dad died at 59. So every single time it motivates me to say, really, he did this just with 59 years old. So sometimes I'm like, and again, it makes me, seriously, it makes me appreciate every single human being that came before my dad. Because I'm like, if grandma didn't come, if great grandma didn't come, if this didn't,
my daddy back.
actually,
There's nothing against them. I want my daddy back.
I think we
But
should.
I learned from his death because it was when he died. Number one, I started thinking about financial literacy.
Okay.
Because my life has just been around him, so I was just like, anything, what do I need to say? I have a father. I have a father. But 2020 hits him, and I'm like, okay, it's like you have nobody. I have my family, yeah. Listen, but my father is just somebody I've built my life around. So that part, yeah, I'm grateful that. Yes, the growth within that.
Look at the positive aspect.
Yes.
It must happen.
I want my daddy back.
Everybody wants their loved ones back, but look, we've come to the end of the show. It was amazing and wonderful.
Thank you so much for having me.
Seriously, I love the conversation. There's a lot to learn, and you're beautiful. So like you have a beautiful personality with a beautiful lifestyle. Like it's what like you're worth a book. Let me put it that way. Seriously, you're worth a book because with the little, I will call it little because compared to mine. Little in the sense that surrounding.
Yeah.
You know, that was what you started with, like no more siblings, no more people to compare and fight and trouble, and you had little of that, but you were able to build it to the most amazing aspect you could imagine, and that's wonderful.
Thank you so much.
So thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Assalamu alaikum.
We've come to the end of this episode. I hope you learned something, you enjoyed something. Until next time, bye bye.
This is Halal Talk, where wisdom meets warmth and every conversation is a step towards an enlightened journey.